Hi guys, so here we are at the Hoher Meißner and we're not quite sure where we are going to go today. We want to do a bit hiking and along this premium hiking way P1. Yeah, currently here and maybe we'll go there. It seems to be quite interesting. But with the kids, I'm not sure if we can make the whole way. It's 13 kilometers, like 7 or 8 miles. It's maybe a bit too much. So we're now took. I decided to take the way 6. So usually this is quite usual in Germany. If you're going for hiking, you have markings on the trees, very regular. You can see there the 6. And if you have a good hiking map, you have the same symbols and numbers there as well, so quite easy to stay orientated and on the way. And as you can see, I'm carrying my daughter. My son is walking at the moment. Not quite sure how long he will do it. At a certain point, we will have to carry him as well. My daughter, I'm using the Bondolino carrier here, which we have quite a long while, and this is among the best things to carry in the front. So for small children, this is a perfect device for hiking or almost everything else. And we also have an Ergo Baby, which is a bit better for back carrying. So for my son, we usually use this now. Wouldn't probably have bought it, but we got it more for about half the price in some sales. So yeah, for a new one, it's quite nice. And if you're going hiking with small children, you will have to carry them at a certain point. So it's better to be prepared and have something like this, because yeah, you will need it, and it's quite difficult to carry a child with like 40 pounds on your arms or on your shoulders. Then won't do this for several miles. Don't want to. Just like also one of the markings. And down front we have one on the tree. So we have this basically at every crossing or possibility to go. You have markings. It's quite common in Germany to have along the hiking with. And there's a lot of parking spaces here on the road where you can put your car, and there's also several bus stops. So if you're using the bus from either Eschwege or Hesse-Kassel, you can stop here by almost every place and go on the trail or one of the trails. We are finally going a bit from the road, and I think you can see it's really a beautiful forest here, and it's mostly kind of pines, but also a bit mixed. So yeah, quite dark here in this area, but yeah. And this Hoher Meißner, this mountain where we are, it's the tallest mountain of northeastern Hesse, and it's about, I think, 760 meters, like a bit above 2,000 feet. But we won't have as much of a view because it's mostly wood, it's mostly forest, and there's not so much free space here. Yeah. I can't get the spiderwebs on the camera because of the light from ahead. Just get reflection. Yeah, it's really beautiful here, and I think there we had some boars, some hogs which searched for fodder in the ground. It was not as bad. Yeah, here as well, but quite nice with all the moss, and yeah, the light is also quite nice today. Yeah, it's a bit dense here, the forest, but beautiful. Crossing where we go to other type of trees, and we actually have a bit of a view here because the trees are not with they haven't got their their forests all there. So that's actually what makes hiking in this time of year a bit more interesting. Here we got a bit away from the planned way, and here's a viewing spot. They're marked with the A on the trails. A for Aussichtspunkt. As you can see, it's a bit dusky today, so we can't see as far, and that's good. But it's quite an astonishing view. As I said, a bit better today. Probably a mine, or there's probably some kind of mining operation here. All the stones. Not quite sure. There were some coal mines on the mountain here, but they're all closed now, so for about 30 or 40 years. And yeah, so this A points are spots where you have quite a few. And here this is I'm not quite sure how this tree is called in English. In German it's a Buche, and the nuts they're growing are called Bucheckern. You can eat them, but they're a bit toxic, so you should like cook or fry them in a pan. Quite a nice spot here. I'll put a map here and show. I will put a picture of the map here and show where we are. This kind of sign marks this is a Naturschutzgebiet, an area of a natural preserve. Almost illegible sign. This is actually written water protection area, and most likely there's a well just below there. And there's this other Aussichtspunkt where you have quite spectacular view into the Werra Valley. I think we'll stay up here. I'm so excited about climbing down today, because the trees are still without their leaves. We have quite a nice view from above here as well. And yeah, this is the Werra Valley. And we're looking onto the below there. There's some lakes. I think this is Eschwege, and like there's Bad Sooden, Allendorf in this area. But you have a really spectacular view below there. This small village is called Germerode, I think, and they have a mountain park there. And a little bit below this spot where you also could park, but it's not so much space, so it could be full. There is the famous or infamous barefoot part, where they have like very much stations where you can climb over stuff on barefoot, and we went there in last fall, and yeah, it was quite fun. It was about the same temperature as today. Felt much more colder because it was fall. Now we are used to the cold temperatures, but yeah, as you can see, it's a really spectacular view here, and yeah, a nice point to top. I think the scope there is even free, so normally you have to pay, but I think this one is free. It's a really nice location. There's also a small restaurant, and there's as well a restaurant on the barefoot part. There's actually a location where are some lodgings, mostly for families and children, as far as I know. Just a few meters below this point, so really close by. Even if it looks long on the map, but I just think it's really close by. Yeah, cannot have enough of this view. Really spectacular. So here the mountains behind the trees you would not see later in the years. Really quite interesting today, and now we're on the premium way, not longer on the 6, on the P1 we are now, which is the actual long trail, and better cared for trail as well, because there's this premium thing. And yeah, the Hoher Meißner, this mountain here, is locally believed, or one of several spaces in Germany, which is believed to be the actual seat of the mythical Frau Holle. Here we have here was an entry to an old mine, which had been which had, I'm not quite sure if it was in 1604. There were 3 people killed here, but I'm not quite sure if this also closed down the thing or if it was closed later. So this was more or less the weather, what we call the Wetterstollen, where fresh air comes into the mines. But they also used to carry out coal on this small carriages. So, but like 400 and over 400 years ago. Another intersection. The other ones are still down there. But as you can see, I actually was thinking about going to the Frau Holle Land. But now I'm not quite sure if we maybe continue on the premium way. And as you can see, it's 13 kilometers on this P1 way. But actually, if you go to all the other locations close by, you probably can easily get about double the mileage in. At the Frau Holle Land, there's also a parking location where you could put your car. I don't think there's a bus going there. Not quite sure yet. I think we will go this way. It looks much more interesting. Also, there is a little lake here, like 600 meters from here, which is probably more interesting than the Frau Holle Land where we already had been before. And let's see how the other twos are going to come up here in this rock slide. And so far the way has been easy, but you should have some hiking shoes. Certainly a recommendation to bring your hiking shoes with you. Oh, there's also a rail like 300 meters in this direction. Difficult decision here. Section has been the most difficult so far, but it's not somewhere in between. It's not really hard, but also not easy. So there's the sign below there. So here we have about the same view, and actually I think this is the thing called Kalbe. Reflection is a bit bad on the camera here. There's a cliffside there, and so it's probably something to do with the bursting of small stones, because usually calving refers to the bursting of calves in German. And here actually they have some falcons here living here in this area. So it seems they're not about at the moment. So there's some information about the falcons which are living here. So we're finally at the point we haven't been yet. I think over there is actually the highest point of the mountain range here. And here we have another view over the Werra Valley. So not quite there, but we probably could see the city of Kassel or something like this. We're going to the other point. We can also see the rock face there a bit, but I'm not quite sure. I think it doesn't catch as good as camera because of the incoming light. And there's also a high point, but this is probably all trees there as far as I can see. So I think this point is a bit higher even. So this mountain here called Kalbe, actually there had been some coal mining going on, and the mountain was starting to move down there, and so they tried to save it, to make the coal operation safe by putting some steel cables there to keep the mountain in place, and it didn't work quite out. So I think here you can see first was the mountain in 1953, and the second picture is the mountain in 1962 when they tried to secure it, and then their attempt to secure it failed, but the mountain was maintained, so it didn't broke down totally. And this is an example of the cables they used to try to save the mountain. So it's about 6.5 centimeters I think yeah, so like 3 inches, about 3 inches, which we have here. Maybe see if there's something to see up there. So very faintly in the background, I try to zoom in a bit. Not quite sure if you can catch it here. There's a little castle. We went over the car some time ago. It's actually a modern castle which has been built like I think in the 1890s. So a bit like Neuschwanstein, a rather romantic castle site. There's a restaurant and stuff there. So as you can see, we exchanged our clothing, put our jackets into our backpack. Mine and my wife's and my son's there. I prepared this beforehand and had enough free space in my backpack that I could carry everything, which is always a good thing to prepare. So just a nice tip to, especially in this weather, this time of year. It's March now, the end of March, start of April. In Germany, same goes for autumn. Sometimes it's really cold in the nights, like freezing temperatures, and then during the day you have almost summer temperatures, like we have now, something like 15 degrees Celsius, which is quite hot if you are used to the winter weather. So you have to put have the clothes according to the weather. So you have to have something which you can below your clothing, so you can put your jackets away at some point of the day, else you will get way too hot. And yeah, some additional space, like this backpack, you can extend the space a bit. I didn't even open it fully. It's always a nice thing to have, as you could carry your jackets around, but it's much more comfortable to just have it in the backpack. And actually, it looks a bit awkward here with the baby in front and the backpack in the back, but for me it's even more comfortable because it requires kind of readjusts the weight, so you don't have as much weight in the front. You have more overall weight on your shoulders, so if you're not as strong, maybe not a good idea. But if you can carry it like for me it's more comfortable with both, even if it looks. My wife says it looks quite bulky, but for me it works. In German we call this the saplings of the willow. We call them catlings, little baby cats, Weiden Kätzchen, because they're so fluffy and so very, very cuddly. Even my daughter likes them. Here we can see the Kalbsee, the Kalb Lake, which is the lake which filled up part of the previous mine. A picture here which shows how the mine looked when it was closing down. The blue line marks the water line in the lake. There has been a small tower at the top, which was demolished like 2003. Yeah. So now we have a lake here, and they say it's a new artificial biotope. Yeah. So nature has reclaimed this place. Always nice if the children are carrying their own backpacks and stuff. Yeah. Wife's now carrying our son. I'm still with the baby and all the other baggage. Yeah. So we're once more back where we started. And I'll give you a short recap where we went. We started here, and then we went this way. Here was the viewing point, the first one, and then we went here. Up to the mountain, to the Kalbe, and here's the lake, and I went here, and just back here it was about 6 or 7 kilometers. My son actually managed to walk till around, yeah, exactly here. has to be exactly this point where we could have gone to the Frau Holle Land, but he was already tired, but it was about 5 kilometers, so he did quite well. This would be the Frau Holle Land, which we might visit on another day. So yeah, about 6 or 7 kilometers in 3 hours. Really slow, but with a 3-year-old I think we did quite well. So, and I think we will continue this on a later date.